What's going on, guys, and welcome back to part 7 of building Netflix app from scratch using Swift 5 and UIKit. In this part, we're going to use the information that we got or retrieved from the database in the last part, and we're going to utilize that to feed our collection views over here with the title itself and the poster and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and open Xcode. Okay, so before we move ahead and use the information that we got from the database, I just gave it a thought, and I thought this is just the exact same model for both the TV and the movie. So we don't need to have this duplicated over here, so we can just go ahead and delete the TV model, move to trash, and that I'm going to rename that to maybe trending title response, and that's going to hold an array of titles. And over here I just need to change that to title as well. Okay, and we can rename the file if you want to. Let me just go ahead and rename that, so title. Alright, and just to fix the error that Xcode is going to throw at us in the API caller, we're going to change all of this from movie to title. And over here, trending title response. Okay, and the TV as well is going to be a title. Basically, it's just removing the old name, passing the new one. It's really simple. Okay, just a second, please. I believe that's the last one for the top rated, and we can just build and run to see that if everything is working. And indeed, yes, everything is working. And yeah, one last thing that we need to do, we have made the enumerator, or basically our enum for the API error over here, and we haven't used that already. So instead of passing a normal error, I'm just going to pass my API error and failed to get data. I'm going to copy that actually, and instead of just printing the error, I'm going to pass in a failure so that we can handle that from our home view controller. So instead of each print statement inside a catch block, we can just remove that and instead add the completion with a failure API failure to get the data. Okay, so what we need to do now is just go ahead to the views folder and create a new file. This is going to be a CocoaTouch class. We're going to create a new collection view cell. Let me just call that title collection view cell, and that is going to be the cell that is responsible for handling everything inside the collection view instead of the default collection view cell that we get with the collection view. So let me just go ahead and press next, create. Yeah, it's just an old file. You're not going to see that. So right in here, I'm just going to type static let identifier, and let me just copy the name of the class over here, and we're just gonna need to initialize that with the normal frame. And over here, let me pass also the required initializer so that we avoid having an errors. And yes, everything is set up regarding the cell right now. The only thing that we need is that we just need an image view so that we can pass the poster in it. So right over here, let me just try private let poster image view, and that is going to be a type UI image view. Let me just use the anonymous closure pattern. Let image view is going to be equal UI image view return image view, and over here we just need to say image view dot content mode scale aspect fill. Okay, so regardless the size or the aspect ratio of the poster that we get, we make sure that we fill the entire cell that we have here in the collection view. And over here, I just need to add this. So content view dot add subview poster image view. And I'm not going to use actually the auto layout for this. It's just simple as laying the frame of the view as the whole or the entirety of the content view. So let me just go ahead and say layout subviews super.layout subviews. Make sure to include that line, and also add poster image view. The frame is gonna be equal content view dot bounds. Okay, and that's it regarding the collection view cell. Yeah, one more thing that we need to add is actually a third-party library that is going to help us cache the retrieved poster or the image that we get from the internet. So let me just go ahead and open Safari, and let me introduce you to another third-party package that we're going to use in our project, which is basically Swift SDWebImage. And you can go over here into the GitHub page. We're going to use the Swift package manager. So as you can see here, the package.swift file is included, so that means that we can use that without Cocoa Touch. So let me just go ahead and copy the link for this GitHub repository. Let me just go ahead to Xcode file, add packages, and as you can see here, since I've added this package already, it is cached inside the Swift package manager. But for your case, you're just gonna need to paste that over here, and as you can see here, it got you the SDWebImage already, so you can tap add package, and Xcode is just going to fetch the required code from the GitHub repository. It's just not going to take much time, as you can see here. Alright, so Xcode finished getting the code from the GitHub repository. So just one thing that we need to do before adding the package, we just need to make sure that we check both the SDWebImage and the SDWebImage map kit, and then add that package. And as you can see here inside the targets, you see the Netflix clone, SDWebImage. So that means that those packages are targeted for our project over here. So let me just go back to my title collection view cell. Let me import the SDWebImage, and inside here, each time we dequeue a cell in our collection view cell, we just need to have an update function so that we can update the poster for each cell with the models that we have in the home view controller. So let me just go ahead and define a public function this time. So public function configure with model, and for now we're just gonna pass a string for now. Alright, so basically this model of data type string for now is just going to hold the URL for the poster that we're looking for. So basically we're just gonna have to type poster.sd set image, and we're going to set that image with a URL. So let me just go ahead and find my URL. It's gonna be equal to URL from string. Let me for now pass the model. Okay, I believe this is going to be a guard URL else return, because it's just going to give us an optional URL. And over here I'm going to pass the URL, and for the completion I just need to pass nil. Okay, so we are set up over here. So let me just go back to my home view controller, and in this part of tutorial we're going to be viewing the view models right now, because we don't actually need to pass the entirety of the title model. We just need maybe the poster path over here. We don't need the ID, the media type, or anything from here right now. let me just go ahead back to my home view controller, and let me see here the APIs that we have. So as you can see here, we have 5 API calls. The last one is the get top rated in the upcoming movies, and basically those are the API calls that we're going to be using to fetch the data from the database to feed the table view cells that we have. Okay, so basically this is not how we're going to be fetching actually the data from the API. We want every single section to handle its own calls. So let me just go ahead and delete the fetch API data from here. And also let me delete the call for the method. And one last time, I just want to go to the API caller, and I want to make sure that I'm passing the results back instead of just printing them. So let me just copy the completion handler over here, and let me pass this in every single API call. So we're done with the API caller right now. So let me just go back to my home view controller, and let me just go on the top of the home view controller class, and let me define a new enum. I'm going to call that sections, and that is going to have a row value type of int. I'm going to define my cases over here, so basically trending movies, and that's going to be equal to 0. Case trending TV, and that is going to be equal to 1. Basically, I believe it was the popular, and that's going to be equal to 2. Case upcoming 3, and the last one is going to be top rated, and that is going to be equal to 4. So basically those are the 4 cases or the 4 sections that we're going to have over here. Okay, so since we've created a title collection over here, that is our cell, let me just go back to the collection view actually that is going to be handling each cell over here, and instead of just registering a UI collection view.self over here, I just need to delete that, and instead I'm going to pass in the title collection view cell that I have created actually. Instead of the identifier, I can just access this by the name of the class identifier. So right now I have the title collection view cell over here. All right, and instead of just dequeuing a normal cell, let me just delete that and make that from the beginning. So guard let cell is going to be equal to collection view cell dot dequeue with reusable identifier, which is basically title collection view cell dot identifier. And over here I'm just going to pass the index pass as title collection view cell, else we're just gonna return a normal collection view cell over here, and basically I'm going to return the cell. And as you can see here, basically we have access to the configure method that we made earlier. Okay, so basically something else that we need to do here, we're just gonna have to initialize a private var titles. That is going to be an array that is going to hold our titles, and I'm going to initialize that array actually to be an empty array for now. All right, okay, so and then I'm going to make a new configure with function over here just to feed the titles that we get for each section in this array. So let me just go here, type configure with titles, and that is going to be an array of title. All right, and inside that we're just going to reference the titles array that we have and basically pass in the titles that we get for each section. All right, so let me just go back to my home view controller over here. Let me just scroll down. Yes, this is the one. So basically right now we have an access to a new function, which is basically the titles, and we are going to pass in the titles that we get over here. But we're just going to switch first on this section. So let me just type switch index path dot section, and right here we're going to handle the cases for each section. So let me just type the cases that we have: case sections dot trending movies, case sections dot trending TV, case sections popular, case sections dot upcoming, and the last one, case sections dot top rated. So basically those are the 4 cases that we're going to handle. So in each case over here, I just need to basically it's not just trending movies. So basically we need the raw value which we have assigned when we actually initialize our enumerator over there. So raw value over here and here as well. So basically let's just handle the first case that we have. So for the first case that we have, we just need to make the API call. So API caller dot shared get trending movies, and I just need the result over here. And on the result as well, I'm going to switch one more time. So switch result case success. I'm just going to receive the titles. And over here, I just want to pass the results that we have to my cells. So I configure cells, and that configure method expects to receive an array of titles. So basically array over here, and over here I'm just going to handle the other case, which is basically going to be the failure. So let error, and over here for now I'm just going to print the error localized description. All right, so basically we have handled the first one. So let me handle the second one over here. Okay, API caller dot share dot trending TVs result. Okay, just a second, and I'm going to switch one more time on the result case success let titles. I'm just going to pass it with the configure method. All right, and the other case is going to be the failure. Same thing, error, and for now I'm going to print the error. All right, and the other one's going to be the same, API caller share dot popular, and the result. I'm going to switch on the result for the get popular case success. I'm going to receive the titles. I'm going to pass the titles over here. And the other case, I believe you know right now what we're going to be doing. Let error. Okay, print the error, localized description. We have 2 more to go. So let's just API caller shared in the upcoming. I'm going to get the result. I'm going to switch on the result, as you can see here. Okay, so case success let titles. I'm going to pass that to with the configure method as well. Case failure let error. Alright, so just print the error. And one last time we're going to do that for the top rated. So let me just go ahead and okay, API caller.share.top rated. I'm going to receive a result. Let me switch on the result one last time. Case success. Let titles. I'm going to pass the titles for the cell. All right. One more to go. Case failure. Let error. And let me just print the error over here. All right, and we just need to see what we have here. Basically, we have an error that Xcode is throwing at us because the switch block must be an exhaustive. So let me just go ahead and fix that really quick. All right, and let me see over here. So basically, it adds a default case. So let me just go ahead and just return what I believe is going to be a table view cell. So yeah, so return UI table view cell. And right now we can just build, and let me see if we get any error. Build succeeded. So as you can see here, it's really clean way. Look at that. Each section is handling its own calls. All right. So let me just go ahead and open the configure method over here, which is basically for the collection table view cell. And as you can see here, we are going to set the titles for the collection view cell array over here. Let me just go back or scroll down to the collection view cell that's going to handle each poster for each movie, and I'm going to return actually the titles.count. All right, so instead of just passing the empty string over here, I'm going to pass the titles. I'm going to say index path dot row, and as you can see here, basically I have access to each and every single title over here. So for now, let me just add the poster path over here, and let me just open the configure method over here one more time. And instead of passing the URL over here, I just need to see the URL first. So let me just print the model that we have over here. So let me just build and run this, and let me see what we get. Okay, we have an error, and that is going to be yeah, that is an optional string for now. So let me just guard let write poster, or let me just say model is going to be equal to titles index path dot row dot poster path, which is basically the reason I'm having an error over here, because the poster path, if you remember, is just an optional string. All right, so let me just type else, and over here I'm going just to return a UI collection view cell for now, just to remove the error. And over here, instead of passing this, I'm just going to pass in the model. So before I build and run this, I just need first to type this. So dispatch queue.main.async, and I'm going to explain what I'm doing right now, just a second. So let me just type first week self in, and inside this function, I'm going to reference my collection view self dot collection view dot reload data. So basically, we have retrieved the titles in earlier within the home view controller, and then we updated the title array that we have over here. But since that array has been updated in an async function, we need to reload the data for the collection view inside the main thread, and this is why I'm typing here dispatch queue.main.async. So let me just build and run this, and let me see what we have. All right, so basically, as you can see here, since the trending movies is the only row on the screen right now, so basically I have gotten like 1, 2, maybe those are 7 images from the data, and as I scroll here, as you can see, I'm actually retrieving more images. And when I'm scrolling over here for each section as well, as you can see here, basically we are getting the images for each section and each title inside each section, as you can see over here. So let me just go really quick to the movie database API. And let me just open the developers web page over here. It's really easy. So let me just type image. Let me say over here images, and as you can see here, there's a pattern. So basically this is the result that we have retrieved from the data API. So basically we just need to copy the entire thing over here, and basically we are just going to feed the data that we've got instead of the hard-coded value over here. So let me just go back to my title view controller, and here let me just create a new URL. So guard let URL is going to be a URL with a string, and that URL is basically going to be this, and I'm going to pass in the model that I have over here, and else I'm just going to return. So basically, once we have the API ready, we can use that to set the image URL that we have over here. And for the completion, let me just type nil and let me build and run this. So as you can see here, basically we have all the image for each title, and I believe this is the moment that you guys have been waiting for since the beginning of this series. As you can see here, for each section I have the trending movies, and as you can see here, it's actually updated. And as you can see here, Spider-Man, basically this is the movie that has been trending for like a week over now. Trending TVs, as you can see here, Money Heist, The Witcher, and all that kind of stuff. So basically that's it for this tutorial. I hope that you've enjoyed what we've made so far. So if you liked this video, please hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to see the upcoming tutorials. And yeah, a subscription would be definitely appreciated. So once again, that was Amr. So please have a good day and stay safe.